In a moment, we will kickstart the event proper by taking the national anthem. May I, at this point, invite... Okay. All right, shall we all rise for the national anthem, please?
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Let's remain standing while we take the national prayer. O God of creation, direct our noble cause, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and live in just and true. Great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. You may take your seats. Thank you. The representative of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, ably represented by Mrs. Laolu Olawumi, the program manager, democracy, rule of law, and gender, heads of civil society organizations and non-governmental organizations here present, clerks of standing and ad hoc committees of the Senate and House of Representatives, Board of Directors of Plac, panelists for the mock legislative session, stakeholders in the electoral process, staff of Plac, friends of Plac, Plac Legislative Internship Program alumni, the 2024 interns of the Legislative Internship Program, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abubakar Ahmed, a broadcast journalist and a media consultant. I will be your co-compare for this very important event. Plac commenced its 2024 legislative internship in October, comprising of exceptional young, creative, and dynamic professionals from Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones and the Federal Capital Territory. The interns were deployed to various committees in the Senate and House of Representatives to learn, unlearn, and relearn the nitty-gritty of legislative practices and procedures to sharpen their understanding of the National Assembly, whose functions, activities, and structures as an arm of government have not been fully understood by the greater majority of Nigerians. The interns were exposed to the finest and distinguished experts and professionals of letters as resource persons that succeeded in exposing them to knowledge and best practices that prepared them for higher challenging leadership roles at the macro level in the future. We are convinced that the interns, having undertaken the task assigned to them during their stay at the National Assembly, they are now fully equipped with the processes and practices applicable to the institution of the National Assembly, the clear manifestation of which will climax right here in moments as they commence the business of the Model Legislative Assembly. As part of the internship program, the Model Legislative Assembly is the medium for the reenactment of a legislative plenary session of the House of Representatives, where interns will take on the role of the principal officers of the honorable members to deliberate on topical issues affecting the development of our dear country, Nigeria. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this specially designed and well-crafted legislative internship program is supported by the European Union under its support to democratic governance in Nigeria, Phase 2, to enhance citizens' participation and understanding in the processes of the National Assembly in line with the core commitment of Plac as a stakeholder in the development of Nigeria to increase legislative advocacy and promote transparency and good governance, which it has demonstrated over a decade. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this 2024 Model Legislative Assembly is ready, and I once again welcome all of you. All right. All right. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, time now to invite to the podium to deliver his welcome remarks is the distinguished man of letters, a lawyer of high repute, the founding convener of the respected Civil Society Election Monitoring Situation Room and the Executive Director of Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, Mr. Clement Wanko. Let's applaud Mr. Clement as he makes his welcome remarks. Thank you.
The representative of the clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Goodwill, who is also the director or secretary for protocol in the National Assembly. I'm not quite sure the title. The representative of the European Union and governance advisor or senior manager of the EU, Ms. Laolu Olawumi, distinguished resource persons and staff of the National Assembly who are here present. I also see Asia El Rufai, who was here last year. It's good to see you again. Clerks of the various committees of the National Assembly, distinguished interns, ladies and gentlemen. I think the MC gave the welcome remarks. I'm not quite sure why he invited me to come and give the welcome remarks, but I would like to say a very good welcome to all of us who are here, to thank you for making out the time to join the MLA this year. We do have 39 interns who joined us at the beginning of this program in October, and we are especially delighted to see all of you who are here. Like I say, it's always a delight to see young people step back or step away from their normal routine and participate in this program. This is a program that we are very proud of in Plac, and also very proud to receive the support of the European Union to implement this program. What we have amongst the interns who are here are young people who have gone through a very rigorous selection process and on their own merits and their own accomplishments been selected to participate in this program. It's an internship program that deliberately seeks to select the best quality of application that are received and to try to ensure that that selected quality is diverse, cutting across the genders, cutting across the states of the country. Normally it's deliberate that we try to accomplish all of the 37 states of Nigeria. I know it's 36, I added 37 because we seem to have a governor in the 37th one now. But we made this selection very, very deliberately, and I know that everybody who was selected to participate in this program was selected on their own merits. I think it's always not even very helpful when you know somebody in Plac, because that may even create a disadvantage for you. And I know that all of you who are here came in because you put in quality application and were interviewed and were selected on the basis of the credentials that you presented and that you very much conveyed during the selection process. A lot of you were posted to different committees of the National Assembly. We are very grateful. Mr. Kpeyong, again, we continue to communicate to the National Assembly our gratitude for the collaboration with the National Assembly that helps us to place these interns in various committees of the National Assembly. And the selection here of people is a reflection of the spread of the committees of the National Assembly and the two chambers of the National Assembly. As you know, you never say junior or senior chambers. The two chambers of the National Assembly, and you have learned the best experiences. I spoke with a former intern a few minutes ago, and he was narrating his trajectory since his internship. And that trajectory, I and him agreed that it's going to a particular direction and that he will soon get there. But he has remained within the proximity of legislative activity. And for a lot of us, when we ask young people to be accepted by the National Assembly, it's with the purpose of getting the National Assembly to give them the opportunity to learn about the National Assembly. A lot of us have very, very strong views about the National Assembly, and I know that a lot of young people have their criticism of the National Assembly. I have mine as well, but mine does not detract from the fact of the knowledge that for a whole lot of us, our life became different since May 1999. Before then, our life was in a different sphere where we were constantly worried about our own security, about our own safety, about whether we could speak, about whether we could criticize government, because for a lot of people who did that, they were imprisoned. Some were even killed by the very evil military dictatorship that this country went through for more than 13 years. So when we look at what it is with the National Assembly, we know that whatever the shortcomings of the National Assembly is, it is so very important that the National Assembly exists because it is the most important policy making organ of government. It is that organ of government that can ensure that accountability is put in place, that the executive is well oversighted, and that citizens are able to express themselves. How much the National Assembly has done that, of course, is a question, is the challenge, and that's why we say to you that we want to see young, qualified and knowledgeable young people go into the National Assembly, see what can be done better, because that's the only way we can sustain our democracy. The whole idea of improving the quality of leadership, the quality of those who enter into public office is so very important. And once you can regenerate the quality that you have today, it can only be a higher quality. And that's the hope that I hope that you as interns have been able to gain from the National Assembly. I remember during some of the bi-weekly sessions that some of you talked about the distrust you have of politicians and National Assembly members. I think it was last year internship where an intern, we had invited a resource person, the resource person was speaking. The resource person, I wouldn't mention his name, was a former presidential aspirant, candidate in the elections of 2019, and the intern asked a question, in fact, not a question, made a comment to say that we didn't know you, we didn't trust you, we thought you were I can't remember the word, I think he even used the word criminal or so. And then the presidential candidate was shocked, but quite happy to explain what his politics is about. And this is a presidential candidate that I personally respect immensely because of the huge contribution he made to ending military rule in Nigeria. And because of his very selfless struggle to improve our society. So I think that the perceptions we have when we say go to the National Assembly and join up with understanding what's going on there, the intention we have is that you would be able to see these legislators, these politicians at first hand, understand that there are a whole lot of well-meaning legislators. Of course, there are a whole lot of others who as well are there for their own purposes, but you will be able to see, and I'm using the cliche, you'll be able to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And you would know that in you going there, their purpose is to see all of this and identify, as they say, the religionists say, the good and the bad. And once you have seen the bad, you also know what you want to become, looking ahead to improve our democracy. So I hope you've all had a very good internship experience. If you have not had a good internship experience, that's actually also very good, because it means you've learned something. And if you've learned something, it can only but improve you. So my hope is that you are improved since 10 weeks ago, and that you're a much more enlightened, much more aware Nigerian who is ready to take on in the coming months and years your own role in developing Nigeria. We're hoping that we can see some of you back in the National Assembly as elected members. Some of the interns, I walk through the corridors of National Assembly sometimes and I see former interns who are either legislative aides or staff in the National Assembly. I think we had one or two interns who actually got elected into the National Assembly some while ago. So we're hoping that those of you who have seen what the National Assembly is about will want to get back into the National Assembly and be the difference that you are very much articulating. So I'd like to say welcome to all of us and hope we have an interesting day. Laolu, thank you so much for all of the support that we get from you personally, but also from the European Union. We don't take it for granted that your support is really immense, and we really appreciate all that you do for young people in this country through the work of Plac, and indeed for Plac's work as well. Thank you so much.
Right. Let's applaud Mr. Clement Wanko again, please. All right. Invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, time to bring the Goodwill remarks to the podium, and at this point I will invite the representative of the European Union delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, represented by Mrs. Laolu Olawumi, the Program Manager, Democracy, Rule of Law and Gender.
Thank you, much, and good morning. Please permit me to stand on existing protocol, and also to say a big thank you for inviting me to speak with you very briefly this morning. Mr. Clement just said something now, saying, thank you, but I said to him as he sat down that I should be the one saying thank you for all of the support that we see Plac sort of doling out and giving to young people in Nigeria. So as far as I'm concerned, Plac is the organization that deserves all of the appreciation. For us at the European Union, we just see ourselves as supporting a very important process that has already been very well established. And so we are deeply honored to be able to partner with Plac to make sure that this process is sustained for as long as it possibly can. So thank you very much. The other group of people that I would like to extend my sincere appreciation to this morning are you, the legislative interns yourselves. Thank you for considering and seizing this opportunity to join this process. Thank you for setting out 10 weeks of all of your lives to engage in this process. When we met, on the day you were inaugurated 10 weeks ago, we had a conversation about what your expectations should be and how you should make the best use of this opportunity. And interacting with you all last week, I was extremely impressed by the sort of ways you have thought you could make a change and make a difference, given the 10 weeks of internship that you have experienced. I say this not to be flippant, but having engaged with you all and seeing, all of the plans that you had, we had started that engagement thinking, okay, let's just hear what you think about the 10-week that you had just experienced in the National Assembly, but to see not you just giving constructive feedback, but saying this is how I think I'm better at how I see the world, how I see the process, but not just stopping there, but saying to yourselves, and moving from here, this is what I think I need to be doing to make the difference in the society. I think for me, this is really what validates what we are doing. That we are able to, engage with you and say to you, follow this process. And after that process, you coming back to say, not only have I followed this process, I think that for you to make this process better, you need to do X, Y, Z. But in taking away important lessons from this process, this is how I want to better myself and better the society. And I think that for us, this is the best sort of expression and validation that what we are doing is indeed making a difference in the lives of young people in this country. Now, I'm going to leave you today with a charge. And again, this is not something I take lightly. We believe, and I think I should say as the institution also that I represent, that young people, there is no way a country can meaningfully say they want to sustainably develop without engaging the young people. Unfortunately, there seems to be some sort of disconnect in the way the process is in this country. And so what I would really like to encourage you as you move on today and as you continue the rest of your career, that in everything that you do, please don't forget inclusion. You are young people, yes, but you will one day be in positions where you need to listen to voices, and not just a homogeneous sort of voice, but that you need to listen to varied voices to be able to make informed decisions. When you find yourselves in those positions, please, I urge you to make sure that you are truly representative of what it means to be Nigerian, listening to voices regardless of the age or the gender or social status, but also making sure that you are making a difference. I cannot emphasize this enough, that you shouldn't have gone through this process just because you wanted to tick a box. Make sure that you make this process count in whatever you do from here on out. And the way you can do that, you don't have to perform a grand gesture. In your own little way, make sure you are making a difference by taking the time to listen to others and making sure that you are humble enough to know that you do not know everything and that you need the wisdom of people around you. And I think that that would take you far. Also make sure that you have at the back of your mind that there's nowhere else to go. This country is ours, and we must all work hard and do everything we can to make sure that we build a country that is worth celebrating and worth sort of preserving for generations yet unborn. And so this is the charge I would like to leave you with today as you go. Finally, please know that for us at the European Union, we are always very keen to learn of your progress. I know a couple of you have already reached out. We've already, started sort of maintaining some sort of contact. But we really are interested in knowing how, life is treating you and what life is taking you. And for us to be able to even tap into your experience as you continue in your professional life and career. And so with that, I would like to say thank you very much once again for taking the time to be part of this process, and I look forward to how the rest of the day would unfold. So welcome to the, officially also, maybe on behalf of my Plac colleagues, welcome you into the Plac Legislative Alumni Association. God bless you all.
All right, let's appreciate Mrs. Olaolu for the Goodwill remarks. The agenda is contained on page 3 and 4. If you have this, you can refer to page 3 and 4 for the agenda. And at this point, I would like to invite for his Goodwill remarks the clerk to the National Assembly, aptly represented by Mr. Godwin Ekpeyong, Secretary, Interparliamentary Relations and Protocol. Sir, let's appreciate Mr. Godwin, please.
The Executive Director of Plac, Mr. Clement Wankwo, the EU representative, Mrs. Olaolu, my former boss, Chief Giwa, Plac to the House of Reps, National Assembly staff here present, the MLA, visiting inductees here present, which we gather here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here to represent the clerk to the National Assembly, Alhaji Sani Magaji Dambawa, who is unavoidably absent because of other state engagement. So he has given me his speech, but in addition to that, he asked me to particularly appreciate Mr. Wankwo and Plac in particular, that I should thank him for the partnership that he has engendered between his organization and National Assembly, which has, in no small measure, helped to make the public to know what National Assembly is doing. He said, I should thank you immensely for this, particularly this program that is that he have held for some years now, because he believes that it has helped the public to know what National Assembly is all about. Because when National Assembly came on board, in 1999, very few people knew what we were up to. And so it became the whipping boy of any administration, of the three arms of government, the executive, the judiciary, and the legislative. It was the most little unknown of what they do. So you will not be surprised to hear people are saying, what are those honorable members doing? So with programs like this, we are hopeful that the alumni of this program will go into the public and educate the public of what National Assembly stands for. Because many do not know that without National Assembly, there is no democracy. And because we've had so many years of military rule, that the public do not know what National Assembly is all about. And because of your exposure to the workings of National Assembly, you will also help us let the public know that we do a lot for the good governance of this country, for the socio-economic development of this country. So you permit me to read the address of the clerk. This is the Goodwill remarks by the clerk to the National Assembly, Sani Magaji Tamwa, at the Model Legislative Assembly session of the 2024 Legislative Interns held on Thursday, 12 December 2024 at the Abuja Continental Hotel, Ladi Kwali Hall, Wuse Zone 4. It is an honor and a privilege to join you at the opening session of the Model Legislative Assembly for the 2024 Legislative Internship Program. Let me first extend my sincere gratitude to the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center for inviting me to deliver these goodwill remarks at this event. The Legislative Internship Program has proven to be one of the most impactful initiatives aimed at fostering greater youth participation in governance and the legislative process. Since its inception in 2013, Plac has made priceless contributions to the development of a new generation of informed, engaged, and proactive leaders. Not only has this program created opportunities for young Nigerians to gain first-hand experience in the workings of the National Assembly, but it has also empowered them to better understand the vital role that democratic institutions play in shaping the future of our country. This year's program, which commenced on October 7, brought together 39 interns from across the 6 geopolitical zones. These carefully selected interns were assigned to various legislative committees where they gain valuable insights into the workings as well as legislative practice and procedures of the National Assembly. As the 2024 Legislative Internship Program draws to a close, with this model Legislative Assembly session, we are reminded of the importance of nurturing the next generation of Nigerian leaders. Today's session represents the culmination of weeks of hard work, learning, and mentorship. It is also a moment for you to showcase your understanding of the legislative process by reenacting the legislative practice and procedures you have observed in the National Assembly. I'm confident that this session will be an enriching experience for everyone involved and a demonstration of the immense potential you have to contribute to governance as young Nigerians. Youth participation in governance is crucial for the continued growth and sustainability of our democracy. It is through programs like this that we can ensure the future of our legislative process is in capable hands, capable of embracing innovation, inclusivity, and accountability. As we look towards the future, it is essential that we invest in empowering our youth with the skills, knowledge, and opportunities to take on leadership roles and contribute meaningfully to the governance of our country. Let me at this juncture commend Plac for this noble cause. Your continued partnership with the National Assembly demonstrates a collective determination to create a more engaged and informed citizenry. To the interns, I congratulate you for your enthusiasm, dedication, and passion for learning. Your efforts over the past 10 weeks are a testament to your commitment to understanding and improving the legislative and governance process in Nigeria. May I also extend my appreciation to the National Assembly management for providing the platform and support that has made this internship possible. The exposure and mentorship that our youth gain from this partnership is invaluable and will undoubtedly contribute to the strengthening of our democratic institution. As you proceed with today's model assembly session, I encourage all of you to reflect on what you have learned and apply it to your future endeavors. Whether you choose to pursue a career in law, public service, policy making, or any other field, the skills and insights you have gained will serve as a foundation for your future success and for the betterment of our nation. In conclusion, I would like to reiterate that the 2024 Legislative Internship Program has been a remarkable success, and I look forward to seeing how this initiative continues to evolve and inspire future generations of Nigerian youth. As we embark on this model session today, let us remember that the strength of our democracy lies in the active participation of citizens. It is truly encouraging to witness the next generation of leaders stepping forward in this ongoing journey. In this regard, the National Assembly management will remain committed to supporting this program as it is essential in nurturing the leaders of tomorrow. I wish you all a successful and impactful session ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Let's appreciate again Mr. Ekpenyong. At this point, I would like to invite my co-compare, Ms. Nkiru Uzodi, to continue with the business. Nkiru?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nkiru Uzodi, Program Manager at Plac. We have with us here Honorable Prince Adebayo Balogun. Honorable Balogun is a member representing Ibeju-Lekki Federal Constituency in Lagos State and chairman of the House Committee on Electoral Matters. Please, Chairman, we would like to hear a few words from you to the interns. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. I want to rest on the existing protocol. And I want to use this opportunity to thank Plac for this wonderful initiative. Like I would say, I just got to know about this program about 4 weeks ago when Farida was posted to my office. And they said she was from Plac. I said, on what basis? And they tried to explain the whole process. It's an internship, it's this, and I said, okay, let's see what you can do. And I will tell you, within 3 weeks, Within the 3 weeks, she was able to solve a major problem for me. And one issue is our job as legislator is to convert our thought into a process of lawmaking, that is drafting our thoughts. And though we have the legislative, what do we call it, drafts officers, but because of the number of honorable members, sometimes it takes a while to get them to do your job for you. And I think within the 3 weeks, I was able to send Plac Constitutional Committee. About how many bills did I send to you? About 3 bills. They were drafted by her. And I was no longer looking for the draftsman again. And anytime I can just go, look, I'll just send a draft. This is what I want. Go and think about it and put it in the right format. And she's make this very seamless. And if that's what you've been doing, if that's even the only reason all your guys are in the National Assembly, it will go a long way to help the legislators. And it will also make them understand that, because whatever we do at the end of the day, it is how we translate it to a useful form. No matter what we all think, it is when it's converted to law. And there are so much gap in our constitution today that we need a lot of amendments. And if we have people who could help you translate your thoughts easily into the format that will be required, I think that would be a very good process. So I don't know if all of them are lawyers. I don't know if there are other fields, but probably because she is a lawyer, that's why it's easier for her. But legislative drafting is one major area that many of us have a challenge now in making sure, because if you are supposed to do something within a week and you don't get it done easily, sometimes events will overtake it. And I think at the end of the day, when I was told about 2 days ago that their exercise is finishing this week, even the whole office is already saying, no, what are we going to do? And I think Plac has gotten this right, and that's the only way. And that's the only way they too can also appreciate, because sometimes you speak to some of our youths. Some of them will look at, what did they do in the National Assembly? My son had been to my office when I was a commissioner at a point in time. He sat in the office and I said, Daddy, what do you do in this office? Because this is the time we really have to carry the youths along. There must be conviction. And when they have this opportunity of getting to see the rigor you put in your own work, then they get to appreciate what you do. If within 3 weeks, if you be able to bring about 3 bills, then I think even in her heart too, she believes, yes, at least she did something in the national. She has not just wasted the 10 weeks. She has something to say, yes, I did this. And these are the kind of things that will put even the work of which the legislator within the right perspective of the youth. So once again, I want to encourage the program, and every one of you too should ensure that being posted to the National Assembly, you must chart a course that will show and give you reason to be there. It might not be only in drafting, it might be even in other social engagements. There are a lot of gaps even in our engagements. People get to understand whatever we are doing. We need to translate most of the things we do and make the public really understand. So even as a youth, you're engaging with your co-youths on the program of the committee you are attached to will go a long way to let people really understand what we are doing. Because it's not easy for us as legislators. You see, we have trust deficit in this country. No matter what I say, they've come again. They want to boo-boo us. So it will really not sell coming from me as a legislator. But coming from you to your peers, they will say, what do you really mean? At least they will give you the listening ear. And it's very, very important. We must really fill this gap. No matter what we do in the National Assembly, if it's not really properly communicated to the outside world, we might just be winking in the dark. So you have a major role to play in this game. And every one of you should take advantage of this opportunity of being in the National Assembly and ensure that you create a product at the end of the day. Say, yes, I did this. I was able to influence this. It might not be in the same way. It might be in different fields. But no matter what you do, just ensure that you play your own part and ensure that you make a mark before you leave the National Assembly. So once again, I want to thank Plac for this opportunity given to our youth. Thank you so much.
All right. Let's appreciate Prince Adebayo Balogun, Chairman, House Committee on Electoral Matters. Invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll go straight into the business of the Model Legislative Assembly as contained thereto on the agenda. And at this point, I would like to invite Nkiru to introduce the panelists as we commence the Model Legislative Assembly.
Thank you very much, Ahmed. We have three panelists. We have Mr. Patrick Giwa, who is a former clerk of the House of Representatives. We have Mr. Benjamin Ekei, who is a legislative expert and consultant with the House Committee on Defense. He was very instrumental in preparing the interns for this session. And then we also have Dr. Rahil Amadu, she's somewhere in the room. And then we also, we have several clerks and deputy clerks from the National Assembly who, considering their familiarity with the procedure for plenary, I also consider them to be, should I say, adjunct panelists. So they are all going to be watching to see your reenactments. And of course, last but not the least, we have Mr. Godwin Ekpeyon, who is representing the CNA. So he's also going to be watching your reenactments. These are people who are experts in legislative practice and procedures. So please, I implore you to impress them. They have been rehearsing for weeks. This is actually one of the main purposes of this internship, for them to actually really understand what is happening in the National Assembly, and not just reenact it for drama's sake, but also discuss real-life issues. The interns did draft bills, they even did draft motions. They are going to discuss topical political issues. So it's a way of getting young people to engage in current affairs and political discussions in Nigeria, so that when they engage other young people, they can engage them from a very informed perspective. So ladies and gentlemen, here are 2024 interns, and they will be starting their reenactments. This will just go on for 1 hour. After that, we would like to get your feedback, the feedback from the panelists, from the Honorable Chair here, and the clerks on their performance, and then we'll present the certificates and call it a day. Thank you very much. Interns, please.
Almighty God, creator and ruler of heaven and earth, we beseech thee to inspire and guide all our counsels and actions, so that we may always walk in the path of justice, love, and charity to one another. Help us with thy grace to do only those things that will promote the peace, unity, and prosperity of Nigeria. Amen. The national anthem. The national anthem. Thank you.
Our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed, and strong with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Honorable colleagues, I have examined and approved the vote of proceedings for the 12th of December 2023. Any member-elect who has not been sworn in may please come forward for the administration of the oath of office.
Allegiance, Captain. So help me God. I faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that as a member of the House of Representatives, I'll perform my functions honestly, to the best of my ability, faithfully, and in accordance with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the rules of the House of Representatives, and always in the interest of the sovereignty
Congratulations, honorable colleagues. Honorable Kazir. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Honorable Amenaraha. Thank you very much, Honorable Isa. Thank you very much, Honorable Nasir. Honorable colleagues, I've been informed that we have some visitors.
Order.
Thank you very much, Chief Whip. Thank you, honorable colleagues. I've been informed that we have some visitors observing plenary today from the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center. Please, can you rise up for recognition? Thank you very much. You may take your seat. Any member with a petition may please rise and present it. Honorable Kende Adeson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kende, please speak to the microphone. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to present a case of victimization. I present this petition on behalf of one Mr. Kolawole Adeoye, my constituent. Mr. Kolawole was, up to the time of his unlawful suspension from office, a deputy director at the Nigerian Customs Service. Sometimes in April 2024, Mr. Kolawole was illegally and unjustly suspended from office indefinitely. All efforts made by Mr. Kolawole to be reinstated to his position has proved abortive. Mr. Speaker, this has caused untold hardship to Mr. Kolawole, his wife, and 5 children who are all dependent on him. Mr. Kolawole has brought this petition urging these hallowed chambers to look into this matter. Mr. Speaker, if I have your leave, may I lay this petition?
Honorable Adeson, you may please lay the petition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Adeson. Honorable colleagues, any other petitions? Very well then, petitions referred to the House Committee on Public Petitions. Honorable colleagues, any matters of urgent national importance? With no matter of urgent national importance, we proceed to the business of the day. Honorable members, the first business of the day is the presentation of 2 bills. I will now invite the clerk to read their short titles. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is the presentation of a report of a Committee of Rural Development on a bill for an act to provide for the formulation, implementation, and evaluation of an infrastructural development plan, provide for the development of rural market infrastructure, connecting rural farmers to urban centers through improved transport systems, and for related matters 2024. Standing in the name of Honorable John Olu Awojobi, honorable members recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, the 23rd of October, 2024. Honorable Awojobi is invited to present the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is John Awojobi, representing Ekiti, Isin, Irepo-Odun, Federal Constituency of Kwara State in this Model Legislative Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Rural Development on a bill for an act to provide for the formulation, implementation, and evaluation of an infrastructure development. The development of rural market infrastructure, connecting rural farmers to urban centers through improved transport systems, and for related matters 2024, HB 1024. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I so move.
Thank you very much, Honorable Awojobi. Any seconder? Honorable Farida Bello.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my name is Farida Bello, representing Kaifin Hausa, Hadija, and Auyo constituency of Jigawa State in this Model Legislative Assembly. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Thank you very much, Honorable Farida. Honorable colleagues, the question is with regard to laying the report as presented. Those in support, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Awojobi, please go ahead and lead the report. Thank you very much, Honorable Awojobi. Honorable members, the second business of the day is the presentation of a report on the Committee of Youth Development on a bill for an act to enhance youth employment opportunities in Nigeria by improving coordination of existing programs, providing funding mechanisms, and supporting skill development and entrepreneurship among youth and for related matters 2024. Standing in the name of Honorable Idamoko Tangod, honorable colleagues will recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Wednesday, the 23rd of November, 2024. Honorable Idamoko is invited to present the report.
Thank you, the speaking speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Idam Oko Tengod, representing Afipu North, Eda Federal Constituency. The speaking speaker, I am from Ebonyi State, the salt of the nation. I rise to move that the House do receive the report of the Committee on Labor, Employment and Productivity on a bill for an act to enhance youth employment opportunity in Nigeria by improving coordination of existing programs, providing funding mechanism, and supporting skill development and entrepreneurship among youth, and for other related matters, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Idamoko. Any seconder? Honorable Nafiu Lema.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Nafi Muhammad Lema. I represent Sokoto North and Sokoto South Federal Constituency of Sokoto State in this Model Legislative Assembly. I rise to second the motion as moved.
Thank you, Honorable Lema. An honorable as robust in mind as he is in body. Honorable members, the question before the House is that the report be presented, be laid before the House this morning. Honorable Damko, you may please lay the report. First off, Honorable Damko, please don't be in so much of a hurry. Haven't read the question before the House. Those in support say aye. Honorable Damko always wants to cut through things too fast. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. Sincerely is in your favor, Honorable Damko. You may please lay the report. The ayes have it. Thank you, Honorable Damko. Honorable colleagues, to the order of the day. The second order of the day is the commencement of a debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to establish the national security surveillance systems to provide for the installation of security cameras on public roads, homes, schools, businesses, and public places to enhance public safety and internal security, facilitate crime prevention, investigation, prosecution, and coordinated security response, and for related matters 2024. Standing in the name of Honorable Godstime Ezekiel, honorable colleagues will remember that the bill was read for the first time on Tuesday, the 5th of November, 2024. I now invite Honorable Godstime Ezekiel to move that the bill be now read a second time. Honorable Godstime Ezekiel.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Godstime Ezekiel, representing the incredible people of Sagbama, Ikeremon Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State in this model assembly. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to move that a bill for an act to establish national security surveillance systems to provide for the installation of security cameras on public roads, homes, schools, businesses, and public places to enhance public safety and internal security, facilitates crime prevention, investigation, prosecution, and coordinated security response, and for other related matters, standing in my name, and 6 orders be read the second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Godstime Ezekiel. Honorable Dignity Amanagaho, you may now second the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Colleagues, my name is Dignity Amenagawon. I represent the good people of Edo State. I rise to second the motion moved by my colleague here. Mr. Speaker, I so second.
Thank you very much, Honorable Amenagawon. Honorable Godstime Ezekiel, you may please lead the debate.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I rise to lead the debate on the second reading of the National Security Surveillance System Bill 2024. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, this bill represents a decisive and timely legislative intervention and instrument to address our most pressing national security challenges. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, this bill is firmly rooted in our constitutional obligation to protect lives and properties in Nigeria and create a peaceful environment that fosters economic growth and sustainable development. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, we are all aware that Nigeria faces one of the most terrible security situations in the world today. The Global Peace Index by the Institute for Economics and Peace ranks Nigeria as 147 among 163 countries that are suffering the most devastating security situations in the world. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, this bill therefore seeks to establish a comprehensive framework that allows for the installation of security cameras and surveillance systems on public roads, highways, in homes and business places to ensure that Nigeria have a system that can prevent crime and prosecute offenses. Mr. Speaker, this bill also seeks to ensure that we are able to enhance the work of our security agencies in this country. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, we all know and we are all aware that Nigeria faces one of the most unconventional security problems in the world today, ranging from terrorism to banditry, organized crime, even unknown gunmen. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, how can we live in a country where gunmen are unknown and our security agencies are struggling every day to apprehend crime? Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, between September 2019 and October 2023, over 55,000 Nigerians were killed by armed conflicts and violent crime, and over 21,000 Nigerians were kidnapped. Just this year, between January and July this year, over 2,140 Nigerians were kidnapped and told to pay ransom. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I want us to know that as a country, our first obligation is to protect life and properties of its citizens. A country that cannot provide security and safety for its citizens is as good as being a failed state. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the provisions of this bill are quite practical. It ensures that we have a surveillance system that monitors the movement of vehicles and human activities in our country for timely intervention by security agencies. We are aware that Nigeria is going to be the third largest country in the world in terms of population by 2050. How can we have a country of over 230 million people where people move from the north to the south, and we don't know the citizens that we have in the country, we don't know how people move, and every day we continue to have Nigerians being kidnapped. This bill therefore seeks to ensure that all of these issues will be addressed by ensuring that the right framework is provided to aid the work of our security agencies. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the importance of this bill cannot be overemphasized. This bill is timely, forward-looking, and sustainable to addressing our present security challenges. Therefore, I urge all of us in this room to throw our weight behind this bill and support this bill for a second reading. I so submit, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Chief Whip, please call the House to order. Very well, thank you. Honorable Ezekiel, another degree in law, because only lawyers write 1,000-page documents and call it a brief. He said it was going to be brief. All right, honorable colleagues, any contributions? Honorable Lumba, you have the floor. Very briefly, please. Thank you very much.
Mr. Speaker, my fellow honorable members of the Model Legislative Assembly, my name is Michael Chibuzomba. I represent the good people of Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency. I am from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, the security issues in the country need urgent attention. According to the Armed Conflict Location and Event Project, over 10,000 people were victims of violent conflicts as of 2022. According to the police reports here, I have the limit. In over 2 years, 3,620 people have been kidnapped, dreams shattered, human life gone. This is putting our nation in a siege, and we need to act quick, decisively. We can see in nations like South Africa, where they implemented such in Johannesburg, where it has reduced crime rates in Johannesburg by 20%. In Lagos, Nigeria here, we can see where areas that are closely monitored, where there are surveillances, where there's a low rate of armed robbery there. This bill is not just a proposal. It is an answer to the security situation in the country. It deters crime. It promotes rapid response. And I feel that we should push this bill forward for a second reading.
Thank you very much, Honorable. Can you please wrap up?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you so much for the fecund thoughts, and I'm sure the House also does. Any further contributions? Yes, Honorable Lebepa.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Adam Sobekwa Stephen, representing the people of Ado, Opoku, Ogbadibu Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Benue State. Mr. Speaker, as my colleague has rightly said, this bill is very important for us as a country in Nigeria. This bill seeks to ensure public safety and public trust. Mr. Speaker, so many people leave their homes every day and they don't go back to their homes. By the figures rightly quoted by my colleague, it goes to show that this bill is very important even for the economy of this country. This bill is important because we have to move forward as a country, and insecurity in our country is one of the highest in the world. And if we are not able to put in measures that deter criminals from performing these acts, we are going to be held back. So I move that this bill be read a second time, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope you intended to say you urge that the bill be seconded. That the bill be, read a second time. Thank you very much, Honorable Obepa. Any further contributions? Honorable Fawaz Mayowali.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Fawaz Mayowa Ali. I represent the pace-setting people of Afijio, Oyo East, Oyo West, and Atiba East Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I want us to quickly frame the question. The question is not about security. The question is whether this bill is the answer to our security problems. I agree with my honorable members that have said we have so many issues regarding security and many people have been killed. My issue is that our problems stem from education. This year alone, we had 1.2 trillion that was earmarked in our budget for education in Nigeria, which is less than what the EU, the World Bank, has suggested that we should earmark for education. And education is what causes banditry, is what causes theft. Surveillance will not fix our problem. Next, look at the financial implication for a country like, forgive me, let me consult my notes. For a country like Kenya, Kenya spent 562 million USD dollars, according to Safari, rated public safety and surveillance system in just Nairobi alone to install this security system. It is not worthwhile. We should look at fixing our education. Now, talking about deaths, a number of my colleagues have mentioned that people die every day from insecurity, and I truly agree, and I believe it is tragic, and we should find a more sustainable way to fix it. But we have over 1 million, 2 million, 2.9 million deaths from maternal mortalities every year in Nigeria. And this year alone, we spent 1.2 trillion on our healthcare. This money that we are going to look to spend into this surveillance system, we should look at how to revitalize the industries that are already on ground. Looking at the surveillance again itself, if you have surveillance and you don't have a database that can pinpoint the criminals to it, people will believe you are watching them for the wrong reasons. This surveillance system already, if you read the bill...
Honorable Ali, please, can you wrap up? Legislative time is very key.
Less than 60 seconds, sir. If you look at the bill properly, you see that there is a clause that says every private individual and private businesses should also register, and they should also put cameras. If private businesses are forced to put cameras in a country where we don't have 100% electricity, you are going to run them down. For our constituents' sake and for our own sakes, I believe that this bill should not pass a second reading. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Honorable colleague, any further contributions? Honorable Eluago, I trust you to be a man of few words.
I'm actually a man of few words, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Obina Eluago. I represent the good people of Isukwato. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Abia State. Mr. Speaker, to be honest, I love the motive behind this bill. I love it because it addresses the issue that we all face as a country. But I do not support this bill because it does not address the real issue behind insecurity in our country. Mr. Speaker, I believe me that even with the surveillance system, the unknown gunmen will still be unknown. To be honest, they're still going to be. A few weeks ago, it will amaze my money and most importantly, took my Christmas votes. And Speaker is that when the person left, he smiled to my camera and said, Merry Christmas. So I took this evidence, Mr. Speaker, to the police. Up till now, the police has not been able to do anything with the evidence I've given them. So just like my honorable colleague said, there's no central database to even track anybody. So why spend this huge chunk of money to install surveillance systems when you don't have a central database to even track offenders? Mr. Speaker, I do not support.
Those against say nay. The nays have it. Orders for the day. The third order of the day is the motion on the urgent need. Honorable David Energy is now invited to move his motion. Honorable Energy, please proceed.
Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, thank you. My name is David Energy. I represent the good people of Obudu, Bekara, and Obaliku in Cross River State. I rise to move for the motion.
Honorable David Energy, yes, please.
I rise to move for the motion on the need to investigate discrimination of a Nigerian female passenger with disability by Emirates Airlines. First, Honorable Speaker, we have some persons that are sponsors to this motion. Now I proceed. The House acknowledges the Federal Republic of Nigeria's commitment to protecting the rights and dignity of persons with disabilities as enshrined in the Discrimination Against Persons with Disability Prohibition Act 2018 and other international conventions such as the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, to which Nigeria is a signatory. Concerned by the news reports of the alleged discriminatory treatment meted out to one Miss Margaret Adeyileka, a Nigerian female passenger with disability, by Emirates Airline, involving denial of fair access to services and equal treatment provided to other passengers. Cognizant that such actions against Ms. Adeyileka on Wednesday, December 4th, 2024, by Emirates Airline undermines Nigerians' commitment to ensuring inclusivity, non-discrimination, and respect for all citizens, irrespective of physical ability or gender. Note that the responsibility of the aviation sector under Nigerian and international laws is to ensure that all passengers, including those with disabilities, are treated fairly and respectfully. Also note that the International Air Transport Association IATA guidelines advocates for inclusive customer services training for airline staff to provide courteous and effective assistance to passengers with disability. aware of the negative implications of such incidents on Nigeria's global image and the possible discouragement it may pose to persons with disabilities traveling through or from Nigeria, it has become imperative to ensure that such discriminatory actions do not go unchecked and that all air passengers, regardless of ability, receive equitable treatment. Now, resolved to 1, mandate the committees on aviation and disability to A, investigate the circumstances surrounding the reported incident, and B, review the compliance of all airlines operating in Nigeria with laws protecting persons with disabilities. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, urge the Federal Ministry of Aviation and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority to strengthen its mechanisms to ensure that all airlines comply with Nigerian laws and global standards on non-discrimination and disability inclusion. And lastly, sir, urge the federal government to work with international partners and aviation bodies to promote disability-friendly travel standards for Nigerian citizens globally.
Thank you very much, Honorable Energy. Please, any seconder? Honorable Chinasa Ogwanye, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Chinaza Precious Ogwanye, representing the good people of Osuka and Igweze South of Edo State in this model legislative assembly. And I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ogwanye. Honorable colleagues, any contributions? Honorable Sylvia Ochama, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I am Sylvia Ununma Choma, representing the people of Ahoda West, Ogba, Ebema, and Undoni constituencies of Rivers State in this model legislative assembly. And I rise to support the motion brought before the House by my brother and colleague, David Eneji, on the discriminatory actions against a female passenger by Emirates Airline. Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues, without delving further into the facts of this case, it is pertinent to note that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria provides for the right to dignity and respect, and also provides for the right to freedom from discrimination as encapsulated in sections 34 and 42 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As we all know, airlines are public service providers, and they are legally and morally obligated to accommodate all passengers, including those with disabilities, and also they are not meant to indulge in any form of discriminatory actions, whether in form of denial of services, inadequate assistance, or violation of accessibility guidelines. And the action of Emirates Airline does not only represent a breach of the airline's responsibilities, but it is in infringement of the fundamental rights of this woman, Mrs. Margaret Adeyileka, and it is also in breach of international best practices. Mr. Speaker and honorable members, an investigation to this cause would mean that other passengers who are disabled, who are suffering from one form of disability or the other, will be protected in the future. This is not a call to
Kindly wrap up, Honorable Choma. Thank you.
Measures, but it's a call for action to ensure that respect is meted to every member of our society. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Choma. Any further contributions? Honorable colleagues, this is the pertinent issue bordering on disabilities. The question before the House is very clear to this regard. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The motion is referred to the House Committee on Disabilities. Honorable colleagues, the fourth order of the day is the motion on the need to address the escalating inflation crisis and its impact on Nigeria's economy and citizens. Stand the name of Honorable Chinaza Ugwanyi. Honorable Chinaza Ugwanyi is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Chinaza Ugwanyi, representing the good people of Nsukka and Igweze South constituency of Enugu State, and I rise to move the motion on the need to address the escalating inflation crisis and its impact on Nigeria's economy and citizens. The House, aware that Nigeria is currently experiencing an alarming rise in inflation rates, which has significantly increased the cost of goods and services, thereby eroding the purchasing power of citizens and worsening the living conditions of many, Mr. Speaker. The House concerned that the soaring inflation has disproportionately affected vulnerable groups, including low-income earners, Mr. Speaker, small businesses, and rural communities, pushing more Nigerians below the poverty line. The House cognizant that inflationary measures are driven by multiple factors, including high energy costs, exchange rate volatility, insecurity affecting agricultural productivity, and structural inefficiencies in the economy. The House notes that the adverse effects of inflation on Nigeria's economic growth, investment climate, and overall competitiveness of local industries, as well as its potential to exacerbate unemployment and social unrest. The House cognizant of the efforts of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, to stabilize the economy through monetary and fiscal measures, but observe that more coordinated and sustainable actions are urgently needed to address the root causes of inflation. The House resolves to, number one, mandate the Committees on Finance, Banking, Currency, and other financial institutions to investigate the underlying causes of the inflationary trends and assess the effectiveness of existing monetary and fiscal policies in curbing inflation and suggest actionable recommendations of improvement. Two, urge the federal government to provide the stabilization of food prices by addressing insecurity in agricultural regions and investing in infrastructure to support food production and distribution.
Chief, will please call the House to order.
Provide targeted interventions such as subsidies or tax reliefs for essential commodities and services to ease the burden on low-income households, Mr. Speaker. Enhance agricultural productivity by subsidizing critical inputs such as fertilizers, seeds, and mechanized tools to increase local food production and address food inflation. Number three, call on the CBN to strengthen exchange rate management to reduce volatility and its impact on inflation. I so move, Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ugwanyi. Any seconder? Honorable Ade Tejumade Adeniji.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I am Ade Tejumade Dola Adeniji, representing Shagamu, Remo North, and Ikene Federal Constituency. I am from Ogun State. And today I rise to second the motion, ably moved by my honorable colleague. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tejumade. Any contributions from colleagues? Honorable Okiase. Very quickly, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name is Nguhe Yokiase. I represent the people of Way West, Way East Federal Constituency of Benue State, and I stand to support the motion to be passed. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, as we may all be aware, over the past decade, Nigeria's inflation rate has consistently been on the rise. In fact, as at January 2024, just this year,
the price of dollar against a naira still stood at a little below 1,000 naira. But as we currently speak, it is selling or going for about 1,500 naira. That is not even enough. As at January 2024, the price of fuel per pump stood at about 600 naira, 670 naira, and that still was high. And today, as we speak, it is selling for 1,000 naira or even above in some places. Mr. Speaker, just 2 months ago, I purchased a bag of rice for 84,000 naira. That was high. And today, as we speak, it is over 100,000 naira. Mr. Speaker and my honorable colleagues, this shows that the consistent nosedive in the inflation rate is taking us down a path that may doom us all. And if we don't rise to arrest it now, then we are definitely heading for the pit. So, honorable colleagues, Mr. Speaker, may this motion be passed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Yukasi. For want of legislative time, we may not take any further contributions. This is a pertinent issue relating to the standard of living of Nigerians. Those in support of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Motion referred to the House Committee on National Planning and Economic Development for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, we are quick running out of time. I invite the Leader of the House, Honorable Aminu Harsanu Guyaba, to move a motion to step down all other motions from the order paper to be taken on a later legislative date.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Aminu Harsanu Guyaba, representing the good people of Al-Aleri Kirfi Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Speaker, I am from Bauchi State. I rise to move that the House step down the remainder of the motion for consideration today until our next meeting. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
By next meeting, you meant next plenary leader?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Minority Leader, please second. Thank you very much, members. The question is that we step down the remaining motions on the other paper to take them on a further legislative date, that is on our next plenary session. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. All other motions will be left for consideration at the next plenary session. Honorable colleagues, the fifth order of the day is the consideration of the report of the committee on a bill for an act to address banditry and related offenses in Nigeria to enhance security, provide justice for victims, and promote socio-economic development and for related matters, 2024. Standing in the name of Honorable Sylvia Didam, honorable colleagues, we recall that the bill was referred to the committee on Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2024. And the report of the bill was presented, I beg your pardon, Tuesday, 22nd of October 2024, and the report was presented to the House on Thursday, the 28th of November 2024. Honorable Didam is invited to move the motion for the consideration of the report. Honorable Didam, please. Thank you very much, Honorable Didam. Any seconder? Yes, please, Honorable Adam Musa Usman.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Adam Musa Usman, representing the good people of Katsina Central Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Speaker, I am from Katsina State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by my honorable colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Very well then, colleagues in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Order.
Deputy Speaker of the House, you may please approach the chair. You may please approach the speaker, please. Thank you. Please, right in front. Thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. Honorable colleagues, we'll now move. I urge the Leader of the House to move a motion for us to resolve to the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the report.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I remain Honorable Amin Arsan of Guyaba, representing the good people of Al-Qaleri Kirfi Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House resolve to the Committee of the Whole for consideration of the report. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Leader of the House. Minority Leader, please, can you second? Thank you very much, Honorable Zainab Abdul Fattah. Honorable members, the question is that the House resolves the Committee for the Whole for the consideration of the report brought forth by the Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable colleagues, the House is now in the Committee of the Whole. Before I proceed, I would like to give honor to whom honor is due. I would like to acknowledge the Leader of the House, Honorable Aminu. He has done what no man has done in this House. Honorable Aminu is actually on a honeymoon, and he left his honeymoon to be here. For me personally, I consider the honeymoon a matter of urgent public importance. So I appreciate you. You're a good man, Mr. Aminu. Honorable colleagues, as we proceed, I remind all colleagues to maintain decorum and respect during our discussions. Each member will have the opportunity to speak. Please indicate your desire to speak by raising your hand. Honorable colleagues, the report to be considered is that of the Committee on National Security and Intelligence on the Bill for an Act to prohibit banditry and related offenses in Nigeria, to enhance security, provide justice for victims, and promote socio-economic development, and for related matters. I now invite the chair of the Committee on National Security and Intelligence, Honorable Sylvia Didam, to give a 1-minute synopsis of the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues. My name is Sylvia Charing Didam, representing Zangun Katab Java constituency. Mr. Chairman, I am from Kaduna State, and I represent my people in this model legislative assembly. So the bill before us today aims to curb banditry in Nigeria, Mr. Chairman. It defines banditry in all of its forms, as we've seen over the years, not just in the Northwest, but all over the country. It seeks to establish, through pooled multi-agency effort, a task force. It also provides solutions that are community-based, that take into cognizance the different forms of banditry in different regions of the country. Mr. Chairman, this bill provides viable solutions. We haven't spoken with consultants, we haven't seen experts. We want to bring solutions that are lasting and are beneficial to our communities that are being ravaged by banditry. Mr. Chairman, I urge this House to consider the clauses of this bill and approve the same. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Sylvia Didam, for that brief synopsis. Honorable colleagues, this is straight to the point. We have only 8 clauses, just 8 clauses. The question is that clauses 1 to 8, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill be made part of this bill. So I'll go through the clauses one by one. If any honorable colleague has any inputs or contributions, please indicate by raising your hands. Clause 1. Clause 1. Clause 2. Okay, Honorable Samuel.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I am Samuel C. Chuku, and I stand representing the patriotic people of Ehime Mbano, Ihitu Boma, and Obowo Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Chairman, I stand to unequivocally propose an amendment to clause 2, specifically subclause 3, and the first arm of that subclause, which provides that states shall, emphasis on the word, Mr. Chairman, shall establish regulated vigilante groups. Mr. Chairman, I stand to humbly contend that the fact that that particular clause offends the very tenet of true federalism as enshrined, embedded, and encapsulated in Section 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999. Mr. Chairman, in our legislative zeal, we must not sacrifice state autonomy on the altar of federal authority. Thus, I'm proposing an amendment that in that particular clause, it should be deleted and the other arm should stand on its own, so that we will not start our own version of legislative impunity to the good people of Nigeria. I so submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Samuel. Honorable Samuel, you recognize that not most of us are learned colleagues like you, so you have to always bring down, you're always on the mountain. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. The amendment as proposed by Honorable Samuel seems very valid to me. Is there a seconder to the amendment? Okay. Honorable Esther.
Mr. Chairman, my honorable colleagues, my name is Esther Musmola Olua, representing Lagos Island 1 in this model assembly. I second the amendment made by Honorable Samuel. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Honorable Esther, for seconding the amendment. So the question is that the House adopts the amendment of Clause 2 as proposed by Honorable Samuel. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, we are still on Clause 2. So Clause 2 as amended. Aye. Clause 2 as amended. Aye. Yeah. Clause 3. Clause 3. Aye. I want to hear your voices. Clause 4. Aye. Clause 5. Aye. Clause 6. Aye. Clause 7. Aye. Clause 8. Schedules. Explanatory memorandum. The long title. The long title. Any other contribution? Oh, Honorable Tejumade, you can.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable colleagues, I am Adete Jumadi Dola Adeniji, representing Ikene, Remo North, and Shagamu Federal Constituency. I am from Ogun State. Mr. Chairman, I rise not to propose an amendment, but to raise a concern today on the substance of this bill. Mr. Chairman and my honorable colleagues, please recall that in January 2022, the federal government already declared some bandit groups as terror organizations. It will further interest you to note that there is an act already in existence, the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act of 2022 is already in existence to address this issue. Thus, my concern, Mr. Chairman, is that there is duplicity in this bill. Are we not going to be duplicating an already established act that addresses banditry as a whole? This is my concern, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Tejimade, for raising this concern. Please, I would like to have inputs from other honorable colleagues. Please, anyone who has any contribution or input to make with regards to this concern that Honorable Tejimade has raised? Okay, Honorable Abubakar.
The good people of Bagudo, Suru Federal Constituency, Mr. Chairman, I'm from Kebbi State. My input is very precise and very brief with regards to the duplication of law as stated by my honorable colleague, Honorable Tejumade. I've gone through the Terrorism Act 2022, and I don't feel this particular bill is a duplicate of any law. Why? Because this bill seeks to address the post effects of banditry, kidnapping, and other related issues. And the Terrorism Act has not addressed the root cause of this banditry and other related issues. So, my contribution is this, Mr. Chairman, there is no duplicity in any law, Mr. Chairman. Because if you look at the bill very well, because from my understanding, my honorable colleague, Honorable Tejumade, has not gone through the bill. She was just making a basis based on the long title, and sometimes it's not good to make assumptions. Because I've gone through the bill, and I have understood it. In fact, before even coming for this plenary, I had to go through it for the third time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Abubakar, for your contribution. Please, is there any other inputs? Any other inputs? Okay, let's have an input from the chairman of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sylvia Didam, representing Jaba and Zango Kataf constituency in this model legislative assembly. So, Mr. Chairman, I understand my colleagues' concerns about duplicity. But you see, like I said, that this bill seeks to address the issue, especially in the villages and the towns. The particular act you speak of does not mention cattle rustling, which is a big issue in the northwest of our country. It also, the two organizations that were declared terrorist organizations are more of a large-scale organizations. We have banditry in smaller forms all around the north, especially. So this bill seeks to address those issues individually. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Honorable Didam, for that contribution. Honorable Steve, could you please make a contribution?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Adam Obekwa Steven, representing Ado Opoku Ogbadibo in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Chairman, I rise to move that a motion that this bill
be referred back to the committee for further scrutiny because we have different opposing views. So I move that this bill goes back to the committee before we can do our job here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you for moving the motion, Honorable Steve. Majority Leader, could you second?
Mr. Chairman, I remain Honorable Amin Hassan Obiaba, representing the good people of Al-Maliki Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. Mr. Chairman, I propose I rise to support the motion.
Okay, thank you very much, House Leader. So the question is that this bill be referred back to the Committee on National Security and Intelligence for further scrutiny. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. Nay. The ayes have it. So the House Leader, or the Deputy House Leader, please move that the House revert to plenary for the Chair to report progress to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Doyun Krisho Kyoku, and I'm representing the people of Ibi Wukari constituency in this model legislative assembly. I rise to move that the House revert to plenary for the Chair to report progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Minority Leader, could you please second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Zainab Abdul Fattah, representing Kaltungo Shangon constituency of Gombe State in this model legislative assembly, and I second the motion.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader. So the question is that the House do revert to plenary for the Chairman to report progress of the Committee of the Whole. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby reverts to plenary to consider the report from the Committee of the Whole. Honorable colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered the report of the Committee on National Security and Intelligence on an act to prohibit banditry and related offenses in Nigeria, to enhance security, provide justice for victims, and promote socio-economic development and for related matters. Clause 1 was carried, Clause 2 as amended was carried, Clause 3 to 8 was carried, and it was resolved that the bill be referred back to the Committee on National Security and Intelligence for further scrutiny. Please, the House, is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Yes. Okay. The Deputy Leader of the House, could you please move that the House do adopt the resolution of the Committee of the Whole? Deputy.
Mr. Speaker, I remain Honorable Amin Hassan Obiaba, representing the good people of Al-Maliki Federal constituency in this model legislative assembly.
Okay.
I rise to move that the House will adopt the resolution of the Committee of the Whole.
Okay. Minority Leader, could you please second?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Zainab Abdul Fattah, representing Kaltungo Shangon constituency, Gombe State, and I second the motion. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader. Honorable colleagues, the question is that the House do adopt the resolution of the Committee of the Whole as a working document of the House. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The report is hereby referred back to the Committee on National Security and Intelligence for further scrutiny. All right.
Honorable members, I now invite the leader of the House to move a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I remain Honorable Aminu Arsanu Guyaba, representing the good people of Al-Kaleri Kirfi Federal Constituency in this model legislative assembly. I rise to move that the House stand adjourned till the 12th of December 2025.
Thank you very much, Honorable Guyaba. Minority Leader, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Zainab Abdul Fattah, representing Kaltungo Shangon constituency, Gombe State, and I second the motion as moved by my able leader. Thank you.
Thank you very much, honorable colleagues. Those in support of the motion that the House stands adjourned to the 12th of December 2025, say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. We'll take that again. Those in support say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House is adjourned to the 12th of December 2025. Thank you very much, honorable colleagues.
All right. Invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let's hear a round of applause for the 2024 LIP cohort for the Mock Legislative Assembly excellently performed. Let's appreciate them again, please. Thank you so much. In the course of the Model Legislative Assembly, we have with us important personalities that I would like to recognize. Honorable Osawuru Billy Adeswa is a member of the 10th House of Representatives from Edo State, and he is here with us. Let's appreciate Honorable Osawuru Billy Adeswa. We also have with us the Chairman of the Board of Directors of Plac, Professor Nuhu Yakubu. Let's appreciate Prof. We also have a board member of Plac, Mr. Benga Aruleba. Let's appreciate Benga Aruleba. We've been also joined by Honorable Abdul Qadir Umar Deu, former lawmaker in Bauchi State and currently Chairman Kirfi Local Government Area in Bauchi State. Thank you so much, Honorable. We will go straight into the feedback session from the panelists. And I'm told reliably that Honorable Osawuru Billy Adeswa will be attending to pressing issues. And at this point, I would like to invite him to share with us his observations. Honorable Adeswa.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Plac. But since it looks like we're in plenary, we have to, first of all, acknowledge Mr. Speaker. And I can tell you that Mr. Speaker did a very fantastic job. And as a matter of fact, when I get back, I will let the Speaker of the 10th Assembly know that we have another speaker in the making. Yes, again, I want to congratulate you all. And you all did your own part very well. I'm very glad, too, to see that we are beginning to bring up the leaders of tomorrow today. And Plac, I will say thank you one more time. Yes, intent was not attached to me, but I have one of you here that is from my federal constituency. And should I call him Honorable Amenawan? He only introduced himself, he forgot to introduce his federal constituency. And I called him, I said, are you representing the whole of Edo State? What about the other honorable members? But anyways, thank you very much. For the feedback, I would say, in the most part, you guys did very well. I'm not sure if they prepared you to know that you are in Parliament. In Parliament, we all don't usually compromise. In Parliament, we are there to actually debate. I didn't see a lot of amendments. I'm sure I really didn't see any amendments in your motions. Or maybe next time you need to understand. It's not just only the mover of the motion that participates in the motion. We are all there to listen to your motion, and we want to amend because we are there to represent first our federal constituency. If you are moving a motion and I think it's not in the interest of my federal constituency, if I have a way to amend it, I will amend. As a matter of fact, if it's something that's going to work against my federal constituency, I can even call for that motion to be stepped down. But we didn't see a lot of that, but it's okay. It's a good place to start. And I observed too that most of the time, after a motion has been seconded, the speaker will still call on people to contribute. It's usually not like that. You want to do amendment, you want to contribute, but once that motion is seconded and the gavel goes down, then you know that chapter is closed. So, and I saw some few members that were not properly dressed were allowed to actually contribute on the floor. And I actually sent a text to my representative and said, can you move a point of order right now and let the speaker know that they are not properly dressed. They cannot address or contribute to any motion on the floor. But I was made to understand that would have complicated a lot of issues. Because when you are moving on that order, you are required to tell us the order you are moving and what rule. Because in the parliament, we have a standing order book that we follow. When you get up to move a point of order, we will require you to quote the order and rule. That's why sometimes when people move a point of order and they are recognized by the speaker, you see some of us. If we think you are going against our own colleagues unfairly, then we will begin to scream. What order and what rule? Just to demoralize you and destabilize you. And most of the time it works. When you begin to tell us you don't know the order, then we're going to shut you down. So whenever you move a point of order, you should be ready to tell us the order and the rule. Well, another thing I saw, I think the Deputy Speaker did very well. It looks like he's been doing this job before now. You know, the committee of the whole, you did very well. I will give it to you. And the speaker too. I like your confidence, I like your courage. It looks like you've been, were you assigned to our speaker? You did very well, you know, and with that sense of humor, we usually get that. Just to calm down the nerves, because there are some motions that will come on the floor, and you know, there will be a lot of tension. But because of the way, the sense of humor of our speaker, he's able to calm us down, and we're able to go through those proceedings and still remain very good colleagues. And another thing here, I see the speaker, okay. And most of the time, I think the speaker didn't call for a lot of votes. I talked about no amendments. And in your prayers, yes, it's always nice to let maybe the agency or the ministry or whoever is in charge to actually take notes, or you urge, or you mandate. But what I didn't see was in your prayers, a part of it should be you referring to those committees where you want the motions to be referred to. I know the speaker was covering up for you guys, because even when you moved your motion, your prayers did not include those committees, but the speaker was still so smart to always tell us the committees to be referred to. Again, a hand of applause for the speaker. So, well, I think those were the few things, you know, I put down. But for the petition, I know somebody was supposed to lay a petition. He just got up, presented the petition, but I'm not sure he stepped out to lay the petition. Okay, if he stepped out, I think he did a very good job. Then for our bills, I'm not sure we usually come out to lay the bills. They read out the bills, they already have copies of the bills. But that was something I saw here. You laid some of those bills. Or maybe they were just the reports. Okay, if they were the reports, yeah, you were right. So, outside of that, guys, I think after the 10th assembly, the model assembly is the next. Please, a round of applause for them. Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, I seek your leave to step out right now so I can join my colleagues at the 10th assembly. Where is at the discretion of the speaker, as the speaker pleases. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you.
All right. Let's applaud Mr. Honorable Osawaru Billy Adeswa for the observations. Thank you so much, sir. We will also take feedback from Mr. Godwin Ekpeong, representing the clerk to the National Assembly. Mr. Godwin Ekpeong will take your feedback at this point, sir.
Mr. Speaker, I still have to address him. You did very well. Your deputy, and in fact the entire assembly, you did very well. The only comments I want to make is because I'm more of the Senate, not the House. During session, it is the leader that introduces any item on the other paper. So, but it was the speaker that was doing all of it, which is okay. And then during the swearing in, Mr. Speaker ought to have stood up while the clerk was administering the oath. So take note of that. you were the one actually doing the swearing in, so you ought to have stood up while the clerk was administering the oath. And then another procedure was found not quite okay was you didn't recognize the member when you led your petition. You didn't recognize your colleague. You only bowed to the speaker. You didn't bow to your colleagues. So with these few observations, I want to give you a very high mark. You have done well.
Thank you so much, sir. And next for his feedback is Mr. Patrick Giwa, the former clerk of the House of Representatives.
All protocol observed. I want to say that this model legislative assembly did extremely well today. I think this model assembly can replicate any of the two chambers of National Assembly right away. The speaker did extremely well, extremely well. The deputy speaker did extremely well. This shows that your 10 months attachment was very, very instructive and very, very fruitful. And those that really put you through did a very wonderful work. And I thank Plac for this wonderful thing that they have done to you people. I will make just a few observations, which are that one, I don't let people know that this is not the setting of our legislature. Maybe because of space, that is why we are sitting like this. We expect that the presiding officer should be facing directly the members. That is just observation. Next time when you have bigger hall, let it be how it should be. So the Plac should take that. Number two is that we didn't see clerks at the table. Normally, a legislative setting should have clerks at the table. They perform very fundamental roles. That is why we saw some flaws in some of the things that were done here. One of such was that the petition that was laid was not signed. Normally, petitions be signed practically in the presence of the speaker and members, and in the presence of the clerks at table. That is one of their work, to make sure that some petitions are signed right there. But because they were not there, that was not done. And then the clerks were not very, very vigilant. You know, there are some clerks that just sit, it happens, you just watch, and then a lot of mistakes are made by members, by their colleagues, clerks, by even the presiding officers. There are clerks like that. But clerks are supposed to be very, very vigilant to draw the attention of the presiding officer when there are mistakes. Before you make mistakes, you jump up and tell him. Then the clerk can make style and do like this. And say, oh, no, remember, so. But no person will know there are mistakes. But if the clerks are not vigilant, either because they don't know what to do or they are not versed with the rules, then there could be a lot of mistakes. And that could be seen by the public. So we didn't see much of that from the clerks today. For example, when the speaker was to go to committee of the whole, it's like, you know, sometimes you can get off sometimes because we have been distracted by somebody. So the speaker was to have that little issue there. But he was very, very busy because he's vast, very experienced speaker. He quickly called on the deputy speaker, beckoned on him, and then that one quickly told him what he was supposed to do, that was supposed to go to the committee of the whole. And that was not observed by anybody. But those of us who are versed with the rules, with the floor management, we easily know when there are little issues. But I'm sure all these people, nobody saw that there was issue there. And that should have been the role of the clerk. The clerk should have known that the speaker was battling with issue of the next action to take. He should have quickly stood up and whispered to him. So the speaker, the clerk should observe that. And then when you were considering the bill, reading of the bills, the clerk referred to the speaker as Mr. Speaker. No. You refer to your speaker, Honorable Speaker. Members use the word Mr. Speaker because they are colleagues to some extent. But a staff cannot call Speaker Mr. Speaker. That's not allowed. Well, the other observation, I think I have gone through those observations, I've mentioned them. But by and large, let me say, the session was very, very good. Very, very good. You did very, very well. So I commend you, I commend Plac, I commend the National Assembly for putting you through very well. Thank you very much.
Next on the list is Mr. Ben Ekei, legislative expert and consultant with the House Committee on Defense. Sir, for your feedback.
Thank you very much. I don't know why I received that loud applause, but I appreciate. Thank you very much. First, let me commend you for this fantastic outing. Guys, I am very, very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. As one of those who put you through this, I must say that today I am going to sleep on the right-hand side of my bed. Yesterday I was a bit worried when I came and I was told you had finished your rehearsals. I got back home and I was a bit worried. But honestly, I'm really, really, really grateful for what you have put off. The entrance was fantastic. I wish my sergeant at arms was a bit louder, but it was fantastic. Mr. Speaker, your level of confidence is amazing. You displayed fantastic confidence, and I am happy about that. Deputy Speaker, too, you amazed me, and I'm very, very proud of that. Just a few comments. So I shouldn't be making some of these comments because I was part of those who did the training for all of these. And when I started with them, I told them that we're going to do what we do in Nollywood. I do Nollywood movies. So we're going to do what we do in Nollywood so that all of us will learn. And I'm happy that at this meeting today, we have learned from a former clerk, we have learned from Mr. Ekweyon, these are people who have been in the legislature for years. So, but I feel that maybe, and what we did was to allow them to learn and play it their own way while we correct them. So some of the things you saw are things that we notice. But I just like to make a few comments. There are parliamentary languages. When a parliamentarian is speaking on the floor of the House, there are languages and words he uses that he doesn't use outside. We must learn to use parliamentary languages when in parliament. Also, I think people with disability have stopped using disabled person. In fact, they don't say blind person, they say people use, if you want to use that, you can just say PWDs. So let us learn to use the appropriate language. The arguments for and against were very strong, and I am impressed by the quality of the points that you raised. A lot of us learned a lot of lessons from that. Then finally, let me say that as legislators, we must learn the art of public speaking. One of the things that legislators are put through when they come during their orientation is how to speak to the public. There are 360 members in the House. And at every point in time, you have perhaps 150 members. You are speaking to 150 persons. There must be a way to present your points. There must be a way to persuade members to accept your bills, accept your motions, support your bills, support your motion. So we must learn, for those of us who are planning to come to the National Assembly, learn the art of public speaking. It will help you a lot. It will help you so that even when you are talking, you know there are ways that you can say some things that are not very strong, but the way you present it, everybody is clapping for you. The art of public speaking is something we must all learn. Having said that, let me say, I am really, really proud of you, and please permit me to doff my hat for you. Thank you very much.
Let me stand here. We would also like to hear the feedback of the Chairman, Kirfi Local Government Area, a former legislator at the Bauchi State House of Assembly, Honorable Abdulkadir Umar Dew.
Good afternoon, all. First of all, I would like to use this medium to express my appreciation to the organizers of this very important program, Plac, for their foresights in introducing this kind of program to our young generation, which is kind of commendable. Because based on what I have seen here, you are grooming future senators, future members of the Federal House of Representatives, future members of the state's Houses of Assembly. Plac, you deserve commendation, and I would like to use this medium once again to commend you. Secondly, when I come in, the member representing my federal constituency, when I heard him saying he is the member representing Al-Kaleri Kirf federal constituency, I feel somehow. Why? Because I contested for the position of the member of the Federal House of Representatives during the 2023 election from same federal constituency. That's Al-Galeri Kirfi federal constituency under the platform of the People's Democratic Party. Very unfortunate I lost the election to the person with you here, as Right Honorable Aminu Arsanu Guyaba. Uh, actually, I really appreciate you guys, and I would like to comment what I have seen here, because I have seen young guys, young girls of ideas, and I have seen future for Nigeria, because what I have seen here means a lot to our future. I wish you all the best. I wish you God Almighty guidance in all your future endeavors. And what you have learned here, I know by God willing, it will reflect on all your future endeavors. I wish you all the best, and be rest assured, we will continue to put you through, we will continue to support you in all the opportunities that you have gotten. Thank you, and God bless you all.
And finally, for the feedback, I would like to invite Mr. Babatunde Babashegun, the clerk, Wale Babashegun, the clerk Constitution Review Committee, sir.
Thank you very much. Let me stand on the existing protocols. To say, first of all, I am most impressed with what I saw here today, and I have a confession to make. When the members of the present House of Representatives were about to be sworn in, we, as staff of National Assembly, have performed a model assembly like this one, and I am telling you now that you performed better than us. And secondly, the legislative model assembly that I saw here today has gone another step above the National Assembly for inclusivity. In the National Assembly, we have not seen a situation where a person living with disability contributing to debates in the House. And thirdly, as I saw the performance of the clerk, I was just saying in my mind, okay, maybe in this model assembly, the digital space has gone so far ahead that you don't need to use pen and paper to take notes. Maybe there's a gadget that is being used and is recording whatever that is going, and is transcribing and is taking notes by itself. So thank you very much. I'm most impressed.
Thank you, sir. And time for me to hand over the microphone to Mr. Clement Wanko, the Executive Director of Plac, for the presentation of certificates. Mr. Wanko.
Thank you all very, very much. I have no feedback to give. All the feedbacks have been given. The only feedback I miss is the feedback from Dr. Rahila Amadu, who has deliberately refused to give a feedback, but sat very quietly in the room, observing. I am hoping that she will privately give me her feedback. But if you know Dr. Rahila Amadu, if she says that the Model Legislative Assembly is 10.20, then you must take her very seriously. But if she says that she has quite a few observations and areas needing improvement, then you must take her even much more seriously. And I'm sure that she has her feedback that she can share with some of us privately, or with all of us here who are in the room. But I just wanted to single her out to thank her immensely. Dr. Rahila Amadu, I can't thank you enough for all of the work that you do for the legislature and with Plac. We really, really are grateful. We didn't introduce, and our Deputy Executive Director will do the closing remarks and vote of thanks. You all know Omolara Kinyeye, so she will speak after the certificates have been presented. But I want to thank everyone who has been here, the Permanent Secretary, Godwin Ekpenyong, all of the members, Benjamin Eke, always wonderful. But my colleague Lara would give us those votes of thanks as we come to the end of this. I am not presenting the certificates. The certificates will be presented by Professor Nuhu Yakub. Professor Nuhu Yakub, please. I think we have to set up the presentation point here. Professor Nuhu Yakub is the chairman of the board of directors of Plac. Prof, you're welcome, sir. So we'd like to invite you here. We'd also like if Benga Ruleva is able to join us up here, but he has been quietly sitting in the crowd. Benga, if you're able to join us, that would be fantastic. Benga is a member of the board of Plac and very, very accomplished journalist who has contributed immensely to our democracy. When you hear of military rule in Nigeria and you ask those who helped to bring it to an end, he is a key figure in that. Benga, I'm so happy that you're able to join us. So I will, Kiru, perhaps hand over to you. Kiru, you need to be here so that you can coordinate it. I'll hand over to you to hand over to the chairman. Thank you all so much.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and also to thank the members of the Model Legislative Assembly 2014 for a very wonderful performance. I want to say that I largely missed the proceedings. I just got up this morning to come from Animba in Kogi State, where I went to also take part at the workshop on research undertaken by academics. Some of us who have also retired from scholarship or scholarly activities, we discovered that some of our colleagues lag behind greatly in conducting researches. So a few of us were invited to this workshop at Abubakar Audu University, situated in Anyimba in Kogi State, to handle this yesterday and today. It's the same thing, the sentiment that has been expressed by distinguished members of the previous assemblies here indicates that there is always need for such interactions, exposures, because it helps a great deal to make people to improve on their capacities to do what they are asked to do. But I would say, based on what I have seen since I arrived this afternoon, that the modern legislative assembly even perform better than professors in the university in terms of how they discharge their responsibilities. Indeed, I'm so impressed with the officers, the key officers, the speaker, the deputy speaker, and everybody who, stood up to make comments or ask the members to take note of what decisions have been arrived at here. And I just said, oh my goodness, this set of people have a future. They are already telling us that the future assemblies in this country will continue to perform better than so I'm very happy to be in your midst, and Plac is extremely happy also that after our interaction, I think it was yes, that's right. I mean, what transformation has taken place for me this afternoon, is the blood one. It's really very good. So well done, congratulations, and we pray that you will excel in the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. And Board Chair. So the way this is going to work, I'll just call the interns one at a time, and then you just approach Professor Yakub. You'll be the one handing over the certificate to you. I think, yes, I think that's it. Yes. And then we'll take a picture. So the first person is Chinaza Precious. This is in no particular order. So you have to size it. By Michael Chibuzo. Abdul Kadir Abubakar. This is the cohort rep for the 2024 legislative session. Oluwa Esther. Titus Ishaka Bulus. Titus is from Nasarawa State. Esther was from Lagos. Chinaza Enugu. Michael Anambra. Kehinde Oluwaseun Adesanwo from Ekiti. Nabila Yusuf from Niger. Please, the next person, so you just be ready. It's God's time. God's time, Ezekiel from Bayelsa State. Achutu Stephen from Benue State. Abubakar Musa Kazir, Yobe State. Edu Lawrence Mondan from Martha Isa, Borno State. Idamoko, thank God, Ebonyi State. Fawaz Nayawa Ali, Oyo State. Hadiza Nasir, Zamfara State. Nafiu Lema, Sokoto State. Doyun Kyoku, Taraba State. Sylvia Didam from Kaduna State. Kosan Williams, Plac. Zainab Abu Fatah from the state. Edu Uwem Etim, Akwa Ibom State. John Awojobi, Kwara State. Yohanezu Jafar Jubril, FCT. Samuel Chukwu, Imo State. Katsina State. I think he's the intern that got married. Just him. Okay. Dignity. Amena one, Delta State. Edo State. Sorry, please. Ade Teju Game. Teju Adeneji. To file Adelakun, Oyo State. Farida Bello, Jigawa State. Aisha Borno, Adamawa State. Ajay Emmanuel Luashegun. Ondo State. Sylvia Choma, River State. Energy David, Cross River State. Can we all clap for him and sign? Congratulations, David. Ugu Hey, Comforts. Mariam Mero Ibrahim, our Plac, Ondo State. Okay, the next is Majority Leader Aminu Buyaba from Bauchi State. He's the one that got married during internship. Aminu got married during internship, so he's here with his wife. you very much. So that's all. So we have one of our interns from Delta State, Pretty, Ufoma. Unfortunately, she couldn't join us because she's indisposed. But I just wanted us to just recognize her. I think we have come to the end of this session. I'm going to invite Deputy Director of Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, Ms. Omolara Akinye, to the vote of thanks. But before then, okay, I wanted to recognize the Plac Senate Committee on Appropriation, Mr. Adeni. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. And then our alumni, please, can you just give us a wave? These are alumni, former interns who are here to celebrate with you. We have an alumni convening later this evening, but some of them decided to take time off work to come and support you. So thank you very much to our alumni members and to our family members and friends. But Mr. Molara is here, Akinye, Deputy Director of Plac. She will deliver the vote of thanks. Thank you very much, Lara.
Thank you, Kiru. Good afternoon, everyone. The CNA represented by Mr. Godwin Ekpeyong, the Chairman Board of Directors of Policy and Legal Advocacy Center. Judges today, Mr. Patrick Giwa, former Clerk of House of Representatives, Mr. Benjamin Keyi, directors and clerks of committees that have joined us this morning. I don't know if we still have any honorable member, but if we recognize you, and everyone as well. I don't want to go through the protocols again. Our guests and parents and family members of our 10th Model Legislative Assembly cohorts. And to all of you, the cohort members as well, good afternoon, and thank you so much for a wonderful presentation this afternoon. And would like to say to everyone that we've done this for 10 years and we've not been disappointed. And we've received great support from the National Assembly. Mr. Ekpeyong, sir, we do really appreciate the National Assembly for that. You convey our gratitude to the CNA and to the National Assembly for the support that they give. And I would like to say Mr. Ekpeyong helps us with your passes to the National Assembly. It's because of him that it has been easy all these years, and we really do appreciate that, sir. We do not take it for granted. You know, getting passes for all 39, 40 of you, and every year he does that for us. Thank you so much. We do appreciate that. And to the board chairman, sir, his support is tremendous. Thank you so much. We practically dragged him from Lokoja to come this morning. And Mr. Rubleba as well, our board member, they've always been there to support us. So to all of you, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And to the interns, thank you for your performance this afternoon. And we wish you all the very best as you move on to your next endeavor in life. And to all our guests as well, we wish you a very safe journey back to your various destinations. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your understanding. So, good afternoon. Lunch is served at the Coconut Bar. Good afternoon. Okay, lunch is served at the Coconut Bar, and housekeeping. There's a colleague of ours outside. Please, if you need to sign a phone, just see him and you can sign your phone. And I didn't say thank you to Nkiru and the team as well. So, thank you. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. The national anthem to close, please.
please, before lunch. Please, I hope our clerks will stay behind and our special and invited.